2.5 years ago, my daughter was born. One cell came from me, another cell came from my wife, and inside my mother's body, there was this electrical reaction. We call it conception. And one of the first things that developed is this thing called a notochord. And that notochord goes on to develop into something very important. If you remember one thing from what I say tonight, this is what I want you to remember, okay? You are made up of approximately 100 trillion cells. 100 trillion. I'll share a stat I said yesterday. Fritz Albert Popp, leading biophysicist. Every single cell will go through 100,000 chemical reactions every second. You go from 2 cells to 100 trillion cells in about 40 weeks. 100 trillion cells in 9 or 10 months. Do you know how many cells man can make? The best scientists, the best doctors, how many cells can we make in a Petri dish? You guys know this? None. 0. That was a newsflash for me in my educational process. It made me realize the power of what we consciously know versus what we subconsciously know. If you take one thing from me tonight, remember this. That power, that intelligence, it took all of us and took 2 cells and created 100 trillion cells in 9 months. It never abandoned you when you were born. It never abandoned you when you were born. Tony, it's still with you, man. Yeah, it's still with you. That intelligence that took 2 cells and created 100 trillion cells, Danny, do you know it's still within you? You guys hear this stuff, but I don't know if you hear this stuff. Because if you truly embodied that, you would completely change the way you live your life. When I was 18 years old and I hit rock bottom and I came out of that after a 3-month completely catatonic state, I didn't understand it, but for some reason, I knew my body could heal itself. And I knew there was no drug, no doctor within that system that could help me. And the only people I chose to work with, I don't know why I chose this. I mean, I was a high school dropout. I wasn't book smart by any means. I was street smart, extremely, and I was vigilant. I knew how to survive. I knew how to make things happen. But from that moment, 22 years ago, guys, I have this trust. Today I understand what this trust is. But I've been trusting innate intelligence, even though I didn't know it was innate intelligence, for over 20 years. So my invitation for all of you is to begin trusting that innate intelligence. That innate intelligence within you. That innate intelligence within the people that lay on your tables. I invite you to move beyond this and to connect with that. We know how the nervous system works. I don't have to spell it out for you guys. It's simple. It's way more complicated than this, but I'll draw it like this for the sake of simplicity. We have a brain, it communicates to cells. And we have cells that communicates to our brain. Afferent, efferent, right? With a whole bunch of shit in between. It's as simple as this, guys. That power, that innate intelligence that regulates and coordinates every cell, tissue, organ, system within your body. That took you from 2 cells to 100 trillion cells inside your mother's body. That same intelligence that creates a brand new human being in 4.5 years. That same intelligence that creates a brand new osseous system in 32 months. A brand new heart in 8 months. A brand new liver in 6 months. A brand new epithelial layer in 2 weeks. I can go on and on what this intelligence does. That intelligence, my friends, it lives and flows. through your nervous system. It is the most advanced biological information highway known to humanity. The internet has nothing on this bad boy. I am truly humbled and in awe by this system and the power that runs through it. And this is what I also know, that intelligence at some time enters our mother's body as we were created. And this is what I also know. When we all die, do you know that every single one of us is 22 grams lighter? Every single one of us. And this is why I'm pretty sure that that I is that energy that flows through here. And I'm pretty sure when this vehicle is done, that I goes somewhere else. Where it goes is a philosophical discussion. We're not talking about that today. We'll talk about that after. So my invitation for all of you is to deepen the connection to that I, whatever you want to call it. Because when you have 100% communication, expression, connection with your innate intelligence, you tend to live on this side of the spectrum. And when you do not, you'll live somewhere else.